It releases the same chemical in your brain as cocaine. Dopamine, validation, connection. You think it's fate. You think you finally met the one person who understands you. But the person on the other end of that screen isn't a soulmate. They are a statistically optimized script running in a warehouse 5,000 miles away. They don't want your heart. They want your life savings. And by the time you realize it's a lie, the money is already gone. When we think of hacking, we think of code. We think of firewalls, brute force attacks, and zero-day exploits. But the most vulnerable operating system on the planet isn't Windows or Linux.
It's the human mind. Last year alone, romance scams and social engineering attacks stole more money than physical bank robberies combined. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry with HR departments, performance bonuses, and training manuals on how to exploit your deepest insecurities.
They don't need to crack your password if they can just ask you for it.
In this video, we are going inside the playbook. We're going to show you exactly how the scam works, the psychological triggers they use to bypass your logic, and how a single text message can dismantle a life. Welcome to the dark web of human emotion. To understand how this happens, you have to stop thinking of these scammers as lone wolves in a basement. You need to think of them as a Fortune 500 company, because that is exactly how they operate. It starts with lead generation. In the industry, this specific type of fraud is often called pig butchering, pan. The concept is gruesome but accurate. You fatten the victim up with compliments and trust before you go in for the kill. But they don't just pick numbers at random. They buy sucker lists from data brokers on the dark web. They are looking for specific metadata, age 40 to 60, recently divorced, high credit score, active on Facebook. This is the phase known as OSINT, open source intelligence. Before they ever send that first hello, they likely know your dog's name, your job title, and exactly how lonely you've been feeling lately. They aren't guessing, they are profiling. Then comes the contact. Usually it looks like a mistake, a text meant for someone else. Are we still on for yoga? Or is this the architect? Most of us are polite. We reply, sorry, wrong number. That is the first mistake. By replying, you have just confirmed two things to the scammer. 1, this phone number is active. And 2, you are a nice person willing to help a stranger. This is the rapport-building script. They apologize profusely. They pivot the conversation immediately away from the mistake and toward you. They compliment your politeness. They send a photo of themselves, usually a stolen image of an attractive, successful-looking person. The person in the photo doesn't exist. But the psychological hook they are setting, that is very real. They are moving you from the stranger category to the friend category. And once you are there, they begin the process of love bombing. They bombard you with affection, attention, and constant communication. It creates a dependency. You start waking up expecting their message, and that is when they know the pig is ready for the slaughter. They never ask you for money. Not at first. That is the genius of the modern scam. Instead, they wait for you to ask them about their success. They bait the hook with a lifestyle you want, then wait for you to bite. They don't want your bank transfer. They want you to move your money onto a trading platform. They send you a link. It looks professional. It has live charts, 24/7 customer support bots, and 2-factor authentication. The website is fake. It is a simulation, a walled garden, controlled entirely by the scammer. But you don't know that yet. They tell you to start small. Just put in $100, they say. Test it, see what happens. You put in 100. The next day, it says 150. You withdraw the money back to your bank account. It works instantly. The trust is sealed. You think, this is real. I can finally pay off the mortgage. This is the dopamine loop. The scammer coaches you, celebrating your wins. The numbers on the screen go up and up. You see a balance of $500,000. You feel rich. You feel safe. You tell your friends you've struck gold. Then, you try to take the money out. This is the final squeeze. They tell you that to access your $1 million, you need to pay a tax fee. Desperate, terrified of losing everything, many victims pay it. And then, The website goes offline. The WhatsApp messages stop delivering. The soulmate who texted you every morning for 3 months vanishes into the digital ether. The silence that follows is deafening. It's not just the money, it's the realization that the last 3 months of your life were a hallucination. We spoke to victims who lost their life savings. But when you ask them what hurts the most, they don't say the bankruptcy. They say, I mourn the person I thought I loved. Where did the money go? It was likely converted into Tether, USDT, within minutes of you sending it. From there, it was washed through a mixer, a piece of software that scrambles the transaction history, and cashed out in unregulated jurisdictions like Myanmar or Cambodia. Local law enforcement is often powerless. They take a report, file it, and tell you there is nothing they can do. The perpetrators are ghost stories operating in countries with no extradition treaties. By the time you file a police report, the funds have moved through 10 different wallets. This brings us to a critical warning. If you post about losing crypto online, you will be contacted by recovery agents or white hat hackers claiming they can get your money back for a fee. This is a secondary scam. Because of the nature of blockchain technology, transactions are immutable. Once the money leaves your wallet, no hacker, no police officer, and no FBI agent can reverse the transaction. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to scam you a second time.
So, how do you bulletproof yourself against a weaponized relationship? There are 3 rules you must follow. Rule number 1, the video call test. If they refuse to video chat because their camera is broken or the connection is bad, block them. In 2026, everyone has a working camera. Rule number 2, reverse image search. Take their profile photo and run it through Google Lens or TinEye. You will likely find that military doctor is actually a stock model from a catalog. And finally, rule number 3, never mix romance with finance. The moment someone mentions a platform, crypto, or exclusive opportunity, the relationship is over. It is a script. The digital world is a forest. It's beautiful, but there are predators behind the trees. Stay paranoid. Stay safe. I'll see you in the next investigation.